Hi guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian, and today I'm going to talk about Mercury conjunct Pluto on February 11th. This is not the first time we've seen this action. It's happened already because of Mercury's retrogradation in Capricorn. In fact, when did we see Mercury and Pluto come together? On December 30th and January 28th, and the last pass will be direct motion February the 11th. Well, you know, it's pretty intense energy, and I'm going to talk about secrets and big reveals and scandals for the collective, but I'm also going to talk about a powerful area of discovery, intense learning or knowledge gaining, a kind of investigatory quality that you might have emerging in your own life about something in your life, depending on your moon, sun, and especially rising sign. So before I get ahead of myself, let me say a few basic things. Don't forget, if you're listening to my channel, especially for the first time, please consider subscribing, and for the rest of you, liking and commenting. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're subscribing, if you hit the bell, that means you're notified when I upload something. Thank you so much. My channel is getting some traction lately, and I'm really appreciative to all of you who have been watching me for a long time and listening. Number two, rising signs always the best when I get to the all signs to be most accurate because it's most unique to who you are based on the time of your birth, where the eastern horizon was lined up against which zodiacal constellation and at what degree. Secondly, you can use your sun and moon too. It helps, and sun can be about your life purpose and your sense of direction around work and career more than anything else, and the moon can be your emotional element of how you're feeling about what's happening in your life. Okay, so let's get started and talk about what happens when Pluto, the god of the underworld, the god of the Hades, the underworld, gets together with the messenger of the gods. Now, Mercury was allowed in Greek mythology to come visit Pluto any old time. So he had free pass to the underworld, Hades, etc. And he was also a messenger of the gods and a psychopomp and helped ferry the souls to the underworld from dying, to the underworld. And also he's a dream messenger. So there's just a few Mercury things, right? This is a great book by Ren Butler, who I'm studying with right now, Archetypal Astrology. And this is one of his books, or his main book that I'm using. He has a couple others, I think. And this book is really useful to look at what he says Mercury-Pluto connection can be about. I just like the way he describes it. And my own teacher, Achyuta Bhava of Nightlight Astrology, also quite often references this. In fact, I found this book after I started studying with Ren, but I had remembered that my teacher Achyuta had mentioned him as well. So Mercury-Pluto energy is a passionate and probing mind, deep insight into emotional causes and motivations, an interest in criminology or depth psychology, a gift for persuasive communication, mental struggles, obsessions, fear of the dark or shadow thoughts, harmful or destructive communications, aggressive dogma and beliefs, and crude speech. So that's just an overview. However, in its shadow side, there can be like speaking the forbidden truths, destructive, effective truth, aggressive dogma and propagation of that dogma. I like this part, intellectual power struggles and desires to change other people's minds forcefully. We have a lot of that going on right now in the sort of time in which the pandemic is de-escalating to endemic, and we have a huge amount of conflict going on in the world around people's beliefs about what happens next, especially in Canada, as Mars is exalted in Capricorn and has created a worldwide movement called the Freedom Convoy, as truckers have descended on our nation's capital. That's very Mars in Capricorn energy, and have put the government streets in a gridlock in our capital city, Ottawa. Anyway, and even today there was a breaking, shocking news story, very Pluto Mercury, in which a member of parliament, I'm recording on February 8th, came out and spoke against his fearless leader, Justin Trudeau, in a press conference about the tactics of fear, division, and stigmatization that the Canadian government has enacted upon its own people. We only have literally like maybe 15% of the population is eligible for a vaccination who hasn't been vaccinated. And yet there's a villainization going on and intensity going on about that small population. All right, moving past that story into our current sky, I want to say that one way to understand what could happen on February 11th, when Pluto and Mercury get together again, it's going to be Mercury going forward over Pluto around 27 degrees of Capricorn, is that we're going to see the entrance of stories that were already started when Mercury first engaged with Pluto back in December. What were those stories? I looked at the big headlines on December the 30th. This is the first pass, and where they were, here's one. New single day COVID, record breaking, doubled the previous worst day ever in case numbers. Now don't forget, December 30th, we still didn't know that case numbers would not translate to equal death numbers because Omicron had yet to be determined to be intrinsically more mild and less pathogenic than Delta. So it was a very alarmist headline. Number two, CDC defends its 5-day strategy. You can go back to work 5 days after getting Omicron. Elaine Maxwell was convicted of sex trafficking on 6 counts. The jury found her guilty. What else was happening that day? Putin requested a dialogue with Biden to negotiate diplomacy around the Ukraine situation. And what else? LeBron James, the basketball player, was given a huge amount of political slam or bad press for putting a meme around COVID that was considered to be going to incite vaccine hesitancy, because the meme was like apparently somebody looking at flu, cold, and Omicron and not being able to tell the difference. So yeah, so there's a lot of vaccine stuff or a lot of COVID stuff in the news that day. Ghislaine Maxwell, that's perfect, right? Mercury and Pluto, spilled scandals, dark secrets, taboo subjects, right? Thematically. And of course, Mercury and Pluto are about revealing the truth or digging under the surface to see what's really there. On the next pass, January 28th, there was again a Biden-Ukraine story. Russia-U.S. push diplomacy in Ukraine scandal in face of Ukraine tensions was the headline on January 28th. And a judge canceled Joe Biden's offshore leases for drilling in the Gulf of Mexico for oil because of environmental concerns. And so oil is a plutonian thing, and the retrogradation took away an oil drilling lease situation that the Biden administration had activated when he came into power. So there's that interesting story. Now, there's going to be something around February 11th that takes these stories further. So if 3 news stories on the headlines of the day that this first happened were about COVID and vaccine policy and testing policy, with the CDC coming out with their defense of their recommendation for 5 days after you're symptomatic, go back to work, then you can pretty well count around the February 11th timeframe, 9th, 10th, and 11th, a huge breaking through story around Omicron, COVID, pandemic protocols, health stuff, CDC or WHO announcements, that kind of thing. Second of all, if it was a new single day record of case counts to start us off on December 30th in the United States, then it could be new single day low of hospitalizations or something like that. So we're going to bookend that story. The Putin-Ukraine thing is really interesting. I don't think that I'm going to do a separate video on will Putin invade Ukraine, because you won't believe what I can see in his chart, guys. But before I get that political video out there, let's just say this before we do the all signs. I mean, both Pluto, Mercury passes involved a headline regarding Putin and what he is up to. So you can pretty well count around Mercury messenger Pluto, another story breaking in the news around the Joe Biden / Putin Ukraine storyline. Okay. So there's going to be always bookends in this stuff. So in your own life, please think about what was happening on the days of December 30th, January 28th, and February 11th coming. They will all connect in some fundamental way. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the all signs. Now, hello, I'm going to do it really, really, really quickly. I'm just going to give you a broad brushstroke. I just want you to remember those 3 dates matter. I want you to remember you're best off listening to your rising sign. It's getting dark here. I hope if my video is still choppy, I'm calling my internet provider. I'm going to say, what the hell is going on? Guys, I'm on high speed 5G, and I think I can even see that maybe this is choppy already, you know? Okay, so hang on a sec while I go grab, oh, I don't want to share the screen with you guys. I was going to share it, and I don't know, I'm not going to share the screen. I'm just going to look at my chart in the back end, and we're going to start doing the all signs version of this storyline. We're probably going to start with Aries, because people seem not to be too confused if I do Aries every time. Give me a minute, grabbing the hours. And you know, I like to start with Aries is sometimes if I'm doing a live premiere, people come in and they see that I'm at Capricorn, they think I'm finishing. You know, if I started with Capricorn when I'm just starting. Give me a minute, guys. All righty, almost there. So sorry to take so long. Oh, it's just software is just advancing without me, and I hate when that. All right. Ooh, let's start out, shall we? Before I lose the light here in Vancouver, Canada, it is going to be for you, Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign, a third past development in the house of your career and reputation. Think back to those dates that I gave you. What was going on December 30th, January 28th, and coming is February 11th. You can expect some kind of breakthrough energy to do with something being uncovered or revealed or brought to surface as news or information that you're now capable of receiving, thanks to Mercury, the messenger of the gods, in his connection to Pluto in your career house. Now, certainly Pluto is power, and this could be a very powerful ally or news from somebody at the top of your sky in your career part of your chart, offering support. You know, there's a stellium there, Venus and Mars, and everything is up at the top of the sky as well with Pluto and Mercury. So again, Venus and Mars is a love and money story. So they're resetting their odometer, new beginnings there, especially on February 16th when the conjunction goes exact. So what kind of monetary news could come through building for a February reset in your finances regarding your career? Pay attention. If you go back and past those dates that I mentioned in December 30th, January 28th, you might be able to find stepping stones to this breakthrough career and money and action story that Mercury is in charge of. And lastly, Mercury is like emails, phone calls, text messages, right? So it might be very much one of those things that actually gives you the juice of what this is doing to advance your career and money story. Taurus, sun, moon, rising sign. I am telling you guys, this is a really powerful placement for your higher education, colleges, campuses, universities, foreign trips, and foreign travel. For one thing, Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, you might just get yourself a airplane ticket booked during this time. And maybe you even tried to book it like January 28th or December 3rd and nothing happened, or you couldn't get mobilized on that trip to foreign land plan. Or if you're, in school and learning something, this could also be things that were percolating with professors or teachers back in December 30th and January 28th. And now breakthrough energy on February 11th. My daughter's a university student. She's a Taurus sun. I mean, I'm thinking of all the ways this could play out for her. Maybe a course she wanted to get into, there was full, and now they got a last minute opening and she can still take it. I don't know, just making stuff up. But good news coming from the academic world or regards to foreign trips and foreign lands for Taurus people. Good news or just news, right? Breaking free, some information coming out from underneath the undergirding or the surface of reality being brought to your awareness in some way. And with Mars and Venus doing their reset here, especially on the 16th, you could have a new beginning around your finances and education or travel, or love stories connected to campuses, colleges, and travel. And if you're into book publishing, Taurus people, this could be really great news, breaking through a call from an agent, a book publisher, information advancing you in that part of your sky. Especially, you know, Mercury can often look like the agent energy, the broker, the deal maker, and he's coming out from Pluto. So powerful broker, deal maker around publications and publishing may be possible for some Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign people. And am I even looking in the right direction? I've got my chart in front of me, not my camera. Can you guys even see me? I think so. Ah, my mouse is not charged, so I'm trying to do this by touching my laptop on a wiggly table, a wiggly drafting board table. This is pretty bad. Okay, I am losing this light, so let's keep going. I look grainy because of it. All right, number 3. Let's talk about the Gemini people of the universe. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. You guys are having this in a financial house. The 8th house is where Pluto is coming up from beneath Mercury's, connection point and going to bring you news around money, good news around investments, stocks, business partner money, inheritances and bequeathments are also possible. You know, Mars exalted here with Venus. I mean, this is a money reset for you guys. The 8th house is the house of secrets. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. And so is there a possibility that some secret is spilled from your family system or from your marriage partner, but it's very important for you to get your ears on that secret spillage to move forward. So December 30th and January 28th, what was going on in regards joint money with a partner, business partner, marriage partner, investment monies. And now we could get some forward momentum on February 11th. And the idea of news or information being unearthed or uncovered, whether it's just a familial secret or some information you need in order to increase your earnings story regarding money like from governments and tax rebates and mortgages and loans and investments and stuff like that. Cancer, sun, moon, rising, you guys are having this in your marriage house. And, you know, Pluto is the messenger of the gods and he's coming out of your Pluto. I mean, Pluto is a god of transformation, death, and rebirth with Mercury. Okay, so your spouse or your business partner can tell you something or email or call you or tell you information from them is coming at you around February 11th. And because Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovers, is there, it could be to do with love stories, love affairs, money resets within your marriage or business partnerships as well. An exalted Mars is driving the action there. And this could mean that your partner is also being very driven or active, business or love, and you're seeing them in full gear, like full momentum, like, you know, like a convoy energy, like, I've got this, babe, you know. So it could be very positive in some ways. And then maybe your partner is giving you news that began to percolate December 30th, January 28th, and is being fully dispensed on February the 11th, 2022 from your partner. So let's see what that looks like, or business partner or significant other. All right, Leo, sun, moon, rising sign. You have this energy in your of the Pluto, Mercury in your sixth house of your work routines and health habits. Sometimes this is also a karmic debt house. And maybe sometimes it's like where you feel like work is drudgery and duty and slavery instead of joy and service and stuff like that. So we can often work really, really hard. And I think a lot of Leos must be working hard because you've got a stellium in the house of hard work in your work house. So you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with things going on in the office or the collegiate coworker space or with your employees if you're the boss. Now, what's happening though, to go back to December 30th, January 28th, and February 11th, something's breaking free here, Leo folk. You're getting freedom coming through around some kind of thing that's been percolating starting on December 30th, around there. And now Mercury is dispensing information or uncovered knowledge or some kind of deep news that you need to, you know, hear in order to go forward. You know, remember that Pluto can be just sheer power. And, you know, in the work environment, that could be a very powerful colleague or even the boss giving you information or news you need to go into some forward momentum in your work and career, but also health routines. So any of you Leos struggling with a health challenge, this could be like the final blood work comes in and the news is dispensed and they've uncovered the reason why you can't stop sleeping and you don't want to get out of bed or something like that. Virgo, sun, moon, rising sign. You guys have this in the house of romantic love and pregnancy and childbirth and children and the muse and play and fun and joy and pleasure. Now you've got a stellium in there. So a lot of your energy might be focused right now with all this Capricorn, you know, party council of Capricorn in your fifth house on really trying to open up yourself in sustainable earthy ways to good pleasurable habits and stuff like that, hanging out with friends and stuff like that, enjoying your sex life, getting healthy in some way. However, there is a possibility in the sky that you may be dealing with a bit of a kind of reset in your love story because Mars and Venus are loving you up there in a conjunction. And so maybe Mercury is bringing forth news about a revigoration of love and invigoration of your romance and sexuality. If you're single and you're a Virgo, though, this can definitely look like, holy man, like, that, you know, you're on Hinge or Tinder and now you got the email back or the message back from the one you wanted to be with, and things are going to start really heating up here, especially around the 16th of February. All right, when the cosmic lovers fully unite, Mars and Venus in the romance house. Be cautious around pregnancy. I say this to Virgos, you know, there's a stellium in the house of baby making, and you know, you don't want the Pluto message to be you're pregnant when that's not what you want. Go back to December 30th, January 28th, and reinvestigate that narrative as well. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. So guess what? You guys are having this in your fourth house of real estate and home and domestic and private life. This is the place that people don't see. This is your opposite of your public story. It's also the house of your mom and dad and the ancestral line. And there's a feeling of the family of origin being prominent. There's a whole stellium here, right? Everybody's down there. So either you're doing a lot of stuff, like especially carpentry or renovations, and Mars Venus can be like renovating, beautifying, working on things like that in and from the home. But also you could possibly be looking at some intimate secrets being spilled from your family of origin story, particularly your mom. This is the house of the mother, really. So go back to December 30th, January 28th, and February 11th. What contact were you having with family of origin stuff? What ancestral line things were percolating then? You know, Mercury is the messenger of the gods, going from the underworld house, the fourth house, to from the underworld planet. So there's some deep excavation, and Mercury could really have been digging under the surface of family secrets and ancestral line stuff. Pluto here is in a legacy place to do with inheritances, and news of a death could be in your family system, leading to some money in your eighth house coming to you by virtue of the transit on February 11th of Jupiter and into Mercury, into the heart of Pluto. Mercury into the heart of Pluto, Mercury into the heart of Pluto. Sorry, I'm trying to go quickly before I lose the light, plus I'm hungry. I just finished a day of clients. I'm going to see if I can do this really fast. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is happening for you in your third house of trips and travel, local neighborhood, cafes, coffee shops, online platforms, and learning, skills-based learning. I want to learn to knit. I want to learn to garden, you know, things you can actually apply. Now, what's going on here is that Mercury, don't forget, December 30th, January 28th, and again, February 11th, has been meeting with Pluto, and this is his last pass. So on February 11th, what kind of news is going to be revealed? What kind of information comes from the local neighborhood or from the house of siblings? This is the house of siblings. So a secret from a sibling is dispensed to you, or aunt, uncle, cousin sometimes. So family members, extended family members, spilling secrets, or information or news coming to you around a trip you want to take, or possibility of something you want to learn, finally sticking the landing and getting, you know, an acceptance into a learning course or something like that. If you're into selling and marketing and merchandising things, this house can be about that. This is positive for you because Pluto is in there with Venus, and that's a bit of a wealth energy, and got exalted Mars. So it could also be for some of you Scorpios, especially rising sign. This is a time of an incredible amount of momentum around marketing and selling, and that maybe this news is going to be very good on February 11th, like you win the best salesman award of your company or something like that, or a promotion, if that's your field of endeavor. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign, you're going to have this intensity of the Pluto and unearthing secrets energy or information coming to conscious awareness in your second house of money with Pluto and Mercury. Money that you make, earnings, but also possessions, right? Kind of a fun story I can make for you guys, because you got a Capricorn stellium in your second house, is something like, didn't you know that your family owned a mansion on a seashore in Scotland? Because second house is possessions, okay? Just had to play with that one. So what is there going on in your sky that suggests that there could be some information or news or a secret revealed or something uncovered that can enhance your story around your earnings, possessions, and money? So self-worth and self-value. And to some extent, your vocational aspirations and directions. So December 30th, January 28th, and February 11th, you're going to know February 11th, the answer to that question. That's the last Mercury storyline, but look back at those other dates to see how things going on there will connect to what's going on around February the 11th to fortify your financial and possessions part of the sky. And don't forget, a house is a possession. So maybe you'll sell or buy a house or a car or something like that. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. So Pluto, Mercury are connecting in your house of you, right? Your body, your identity, your character, who you think you are. This is an energy that's quite intense because you've got a Capricorn stellium in the house of you. It's like the three faces of Eve, but it's like multiple personality disorder of you. You've got like Venus and Mars and the Vestal flame and Pluto and Mercury all bunched up in the house of you. And it's very intense energy. So I know I've been saying this in all of my videos. I know you guys feel it. You feel like you are going in crazy right now, but you're also powerful. Since Mars got in there, he's exalted and he doesn't have Saturn giving him a break. He's like full on fire, like full on earthy, exalted warrior in chief energy. And so you're really managing since the last week of January until, by the way, the end of the first week of March, more or less, to kill it in terms of actions, decisions, and executive command, but still it's an intense time. What happened December 30th, January 28th, and February 11th? Coming up, that's when the Mercury Pluto piece happened. Powerful communications that you are directing from you're sending out, doing the deep research and sending out messages or communicating something to people. I don't know, maybe. Now, hey, Mars is, opposing the descendant. This is your marriage and business partnership house, and you might be laying down the law, and maybe Pluto, Mercury, you could be doing research like into your shenanigans of your business or love partnerships stuff. Like, are they faithful? What are they up to? I don't know. Sometimes I think of Pluto and Mercury like the detective, or the private eye energy, the sleuth. So what kind of scandalous stuff can be dug up? Well, if it's being dug up, you're digging it up. But there's a lot of pressure aimed at your business or love partner right now from Mars in your first house. So you might be really laying down the law on February 11th or around there. Aquarius, sun, moon, rising sign. I'm an Aquarius, guys. So here we go. We are off to the races. We don't mind, by the way, the energy of Saturnian places because we're Saturnian rule. And this is a Saturn rule stellium, Capricorn, in our 12th house, the 12th house of our addictions and our self-undoing. And if this video is choppy, I'm so calling my provider because I think I am like going into choppy mode, even see myself record for you. But the volume and the sound seems to be good. Anyway. So the 12th house is our self-undoing and our addictions. Now, we've got Mars there since January 24th, giving us a lot of power to overcome our self-defeating habits and patterns. I'm on a wine cleanse because I'm doing a program called the Sober Sisters, and it's a 21-day reset since February 1st, that kind of thing. And a lot of us Aquarians will find that this time we're so jammed up in our 12th house that our dreams at night are super powerful, that we're actually in a deep soul work space right now. And it's really hard for me to explain how it feels because this Capricorn is stellium Capricorn in the 12th house for me as an Aquarius rising feels like my inner life is highly populated. And I really don't want to be in the outer world. Like I'm very hermity right now. And, even trying a dating app or something like that is just like an exhaustion for me. So, there's like a hermit and a wise woman of the mountain in the Capricorn and wise man of the cave in the 12th house for you Aquarians. It's being activated. Now with this information, don't forget, go back to December 30th, January 28th, and here comes February 11th. What are you digging up from the depths of your soul? What information, what recognition, what breakthrough is going to happen as you dig under the surface of yourself? Now, Mercury and Pluto can be about money as well here. This is someone asked me how this worked, derived houses. Well, this is the 3rd house from the 10th house of career, the 12th. And it can be more like this traveling salesman, the caravan, the peddler energy of the 3rd house. And so this is often like the spice trade. This is how you make money by peddling your wares, by traveling to foreign lands. But in our modern world, we don't do that. We really peddle our wares to foreign lands with PayPal and Stripe. So Pluto, Mercury, merchandise, mercantile, commerce, Pluto power could be powering up a real positive development for some of you Aquarius risings in that area of the sky that requires you to merchandise things across borders. Okay, and you could have a very powerful dream because Mercury is the dream god. So I've been looking at my dreams from December 30th and January 28th. They were very powerful. So what's next? What dream will Mercury bring Aquarius risings on the February 11th? Breakthrough time. Last but never least, of course, we always say that is the Pisces of the world. All right, you guys, you're going to have this energy in the 11th house of good spirit. This is a house of positivity. This is a house where you are getting your karmic rewards. This is a house of great gains from your 10th house of career, financially and reputation wise. This is the house where you experience your dreams, wishes, and hopes, and what you see your life as your goals or your visions for what you want to see happen in your life. And this is where your friends can benefit you, and your people can give you favors or act like allies who are your larger friendship network. So Pluto Mercury will dispense some information, maybe an email, maybe a phone call, or a bit of news that's positive around money that's generated from your career, around a favor or support from a friend or ally around possibly an uncovering, a revealing of some information that you weren't privy to, and that also impacts your finances in a positive way. You know, it's interesting because I know a Pisces rising whose PayPal account got shut down unfairly. And PayPal apparently is a class action lawsuit because they're withholding her money. And there's a class action lawsuit because they actually told this person that I know, this Pisces rising, they're going to give her money back in 8 months, and they still haven't returned it to her. And there's been nothing happening. And she was not conducting a fraudulent business with PayPal. So, you know, the reason I'm bringing this up, because abuse of power is Plutonian, and PayPal stealing people's money, apparently. I shouldn't say that because I use them, but by shutting their accounts down, giving them no recourse but to hire a lawyer, which people can't afford, and they won't tell you why they shut it down, and then they're not returning the money, the funds you had in there when they shut it down, they're just keeping it. I mean, seriously, that really happens, guys. So for some people, like the 11th house is great gains from your career, but it's also pennies from heaven, and it's a bit of a money house. So for some of you Pisces, there could be some kind of opening up and revealing, and you know, Pluto, Mercury information that reveals something or opens a passageway to pennies from heaven, or money coming from your career, or money coming back to you. Okay, and favors from friends, as I said. This is a positive piece of sky. You got a stellium there. You're resetting a bit about your values around money and your values around love, as the Cosmic Lovers join on February 16th. But in regards to love and money as it connects to your highest hopes, dreams, and wishes for your life. So keep that in mind, because this Mercury news on February 11th, information or new knowledge, could have some bearing on where things are going in the longer arc of a Cosmic Lovers resetting your story in your 11th house. Okay, and it's a karmic rewarding house. It's positive. Karmic dividends are coming home to roost. So let's see how that impacts you guys in career, money, and luck money stuff over the next while. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check my description box below. Why? Because you can sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter and a bunch of other stuff and free gifts and all that stuff. All right, guys, see you soon. Ciao, ciao.